First and 6. 366.
I'd like to entertain a motion to convene with the regular course of the meeting. I need a first. Councilman Bamonte with the first, a second. Councilman Civiletto with the second. Clerk, call the roll to reconvene the meeting.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamonto?
Aye.
Councilmember Heenan?
Aye.
Councilmember Civiletto?
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Washington.
Aye. Number 3, reading of the privilege of the floor regulations.
The privilege of the floor shall be extended to any person appearing for themselves, in which case that individual shall be limited to 3 minutes, and to any person representing a group who shall be limited to 5 minutes. When recognized, please stand and state your name and address. The city clerk shall have the duty of maintaining such time limits, and the councilman at large shall maintain or shall determine in his discretion whether individuals are speaking for themselves or representing groups. Councilman at large volition shall maintain good order and may require any speaker to cease speaking if remarks are made in bad taste or are slanderous or non-germane to any action taken or contemplated by council. The time limits specified shall be strictly adhered to, except that a speaker may be allowed to complete a statement or thought started before such time has expired.
With that said, privilege of the floor is now open. If anybody wishes to speak, please step forward to the microphone and state your name and address. Privilege of the floor is now open. If anybody wishes to speak, please step forward to the microphone and state your name and address. Final opportunity. Privilege of the floor is now open. If anybody wishes to speak, please step forward and state your name and address. Privilege of the floor is now closed. Number 5, communications from the mayor, including disapproval messages. Mayor?
Mr. Chairman, I just have a couple of announcements, but first I would like to publicly recognize all of our city department heads and supervisors, but especially our city frontline workers who worked and helped out throughout the weekend. In my opinion, they did a great job. My office has received many calls of people complimenting the job that we did throughout the city in all departments. I'd also like to inform council that today I attended the 90-year anniversary celebration over at ECR International. I met there with the president of the company, Ron Passaferro, and was informed that they have invested $1.5 million in upgrades at this plant here in the city of Dunkirk, where they employ over 150 staff members. I just wanted to let you know that there's another good company that's doing well. And the other thing is that I would like to invite everyone to the official ribbon cutting at Wright Park, set for August 31st at 3 p.m. for that project. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Number 6, communications from the public and petitions. Number 1,
Request from Dunkirk High School Student Council requesting the closure of 6th Street from Plover Street to Marauder Drive for the food truck event starting at 3 p.m. on Friday, September 28, 2018.
any discussion, council? I'm looking for a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approve subject to appropriate insurances and usual conditions. Councilman Bamonte with the first.
Second.
Councilman Williams with the second. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamonto?
Aye.
Councilmember Heenan? Aye. Councilmember Civiletto? Aye. Councilmember at large Washington.
Aye. Communication number 2 has been pulled for this evening as the dates that they requested conflict with another date for the same exact type of event. So we're asking the clerk to contact them, let them know it's being pulled for that purpose. Number 3,
Notice of claim from Gary Cotta for alleged water damages due to a backup from the city system.
I need a motion to refer this to the law department.
So moved.
Councilman Williams with the first, Councilman Civiletto with the second. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamonto?
Aye.
Councilmember Heenan? Aye. Councilmember Civiletto? Aye. Councilmember at large Washington.
Aye. Number 4, loudspeaker applications.
Dunkirk High School Student Council to use DJ speakers at the food truck event on Friday, September 28, 2018 from 3:30 p.m. until 7 p.m.
Any discussion, council? I need a motion to refer this to the appropriate departments as well as approve, subject to appropriate insurances and usual conditions.
So moved.
Councilman Williams with the first, Councilman Bamanto with the second. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Heenan? Aye. Councilmember Civiletto? Aye. Councilmember at-large Voisin?
Aye. Number 7, reports of standing committees, boards, and commissions. Councilman Williams?
Just want to say the boat race was awesome. Those boats were huge. Hope everybody was able to get a good up-close look at some of them and hopefully see some of the racing on Sunday and maybe through the parade on Friday. I believe we're going to continue to do that. I heard them say somewhere out there that it was the first annual, so I'm assuming that means that there's going to be more in the future. So it was a great event. I liked it. I like looking down from the pier and seeing all the lakefront on the west side of the pier, pretty much people standing and watching, and then on the right side of the pier over in the first ward, a lot of people along the rails down there. As a matter of fact, at one time on Saturday, we left the pier because there were so many out there and went back home and just watched it down at the end of Lemming Street, and that was really good right there too. And the sound was there too, so it was a good addition to watching it from there. So thanks, Hector, for bringing that in and all the hard work that everybody did on it. I know both chiefs were involved in it. I think every department was probably involved in it somewhere. So a good job, great event. I liked it. I hope we see it again. After that, Randy, another meeting, another question about Robertson Second. What's the status on that?
There was a purchase order into Highway Tech, Lewiston, Maine, for the controller to replace that one. It took the city electrician provision a little while to research programming, and he's got it ordered with the programming already there. He would like to replace all of these controllers that are vintage 1980 something. He wants to do this one as the first one, and then at budget time he'd like us to consider doing a few more each year, because these things are really antiquated. So it's on order. We'll put it in immediately as when it arrives.
Okay. Actually, all my questions are for Randy, but the next one is last Friday. It looked like H. Olson and Son was doing some patching of something on the end of Armadillo. That didn't look like, it looked like something maybe our workers should have been doing or something. I didn't know why they were doing it, so I figured I'd ask if that's what they were doing there.
We had a sewer blowout on Lake Boulevard during the rain event, and they had a little bit of material left over at the end of that. They were done. So they did that at no extra charge to the city.
Okay. All right, and then I guess after that, just want to say that our DPW committee meeting is tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the mayor's conference room, and everyone in the public is welcome to attend.
Thank you, Councilman Williams. Councilman Bamanto?
Yeah, about the boat race, I would like to thank Mayor Rosas, Hector Rosas, his staff, volunteers. We had seasonal people there. Shout out to both chiefs. Chief Ortolano was out there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday pitching in, directing traffic. Mike, I seen Mike all weekend, all over the place. Randy, DPW, you know, kudos to your guys, kudos to you. I saw Mike Perpiglia out there actually helping out in Memorial Park. Russell was out there driving the gator around when we needed him. We pulled him aside and he was pitching in. So that was great to have everybody pitch in. So thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Bamanto. Councilman Heenan?
Yes. After the last meeting, there was mention of the animal shelter. I had asked Mr. Woodbury to take me through it, which he did. And Randy had some suggestions. A lot of it was just some old equipment and clutter that needed to be removed, so they removed that. Steve Pearl had spent about 6 to 8 hours down there on that weekend giving a thorough cleaning. I didn't notice any smell. I won't get into the whole bit about the condition of it. I thought it was very well, but it is an older building. But as far as the cleanliness, the dogs are up off of the ground. There's elevated beds. At the end of the day, I spoke more with Randy throughout the weekend, Steve, and Randy had asked the Parks and Recreation Department to go down there and give it a good brushing, cleaning around the building, and Jason was also down there and cut down a few of the trees, and it was a dual purpose. Not only does it make the shelter look a lot better, having that big event that weekend also. So there's always improvements to be down there, but I can tell you a lot of the stuff that was in there was just stuff that needed to be removed, and it looked like a whole different shelter when you got done. So thank you, Randy, and your Parks Department, and they were on it right as soon as they could. I know they were busy with everything else, and I understood that, but they did get it taken care of in 10 days worth, and looks good. And I thank the mayor also. I know he had sent down his impact team today. They were going to put, is that right, Mayor, an epoxy floor finish on the animal shelter, is that correct? And so we're all over it. We're on it, and the mayor's on it. Thank you. People will be, put themselves at ease a little bit about it with the shelter. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Heenan. Councilman Civiletto?
As Chairman of the Public Safety Committee, I want to thank everyone who was in charge of public safety throughout the weekend of the boat race. It was fantastic, especially Chief Ortolano and Chief Edwards. Wanted to thank the mayor and Hector and his whole crew, all the volunteers, all of the street departments, Parks Department for making the city look just fantastic, and had lots of comments from drivers, producers, saying that this was the best venue that they've seen in all of the Great Lakes, and they were very excited about coming back next year. So you guys did a fantastic job, and just wanted to let everybody know that. Also that, just a shout out to Cable Access, the YouTube channel, if you go to Cable Access 12 YouTube, you can watch the whole race. It's like 4 hours, and it has the CBS Sports feed on it too. So we were talking about multiple camera angles in high definition. It's just really cool to see the city in HD on YouTube from drones and from helicopters and from the top of the high rise, and it's just a really fantastic thing. So, you know, go visit that website because it's really cool. Beyond that, thanks to everyone, and that's it.
Thank you, Councilman Civiletto. I unfortunately was not able to make it down to the harbor front during the races themselves, as I got stuck working doubles all weekend. However, on Saturday, I was able to make it down to the waterfront during the evening, and it was nice to see that so many people stuck around well after the races were over, partaking in the events that we had to offer on the waterfront. And as far as everything else I've read about it, seen about it, heard about it, I can only imagine the amount of energy, positive energy, that was along the lakefront during this entire event. I literally have not heard a single negative thing, and I know that's shocking in today's world, but I literally have not heard a single negative thing about the entire event all weekend long. So hats off to every single person involved, administration, all the way down. It was absolutely amazing to experience. Beyond that, we have a Finance Committee meeting at 4 p.m. on August 30th, if anybody would like to attend. Moving right along to number 8, unfinished business. We have no unfinished business. We'll move along to number 9, pre-filed resolutions. Pre-filed resolution number 89 will be withdrawn for the evening. Therefore, there will be no action taken on it. Number 90.
Resolution authorizing alternative hours for City Hall employees.
Any discussion, council? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Heenan?
Aye.
Councilmember Civiletto?
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Vowash.
Aye. Number 10, new business. We do have a walk-in resolution. Clerk?
Accepting general construction contract base bid for Central Connections Bicycle and Pedestrian Improvement Project.
I'd like to have Rebecca comment on this, please.
Yeah, this is accepting a bid that we opened bids yesterday for the Central Connection project, part of our 2.5 million smart growth project. It includes upgrades to Central Avenue. The county will be doing the portion of mill and overlay, and we'll be doing upgrades to the intersections, signage improvements, 4 different intersections, bike lanes, signage, lining up the streets. So this is to push this project forward.
Thank you, Rebecca. Any discussion, council? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Heenan?
Aye.
Councilmember Civiletto?
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Vowash.
Aye. Motion to adjourn?
So move.
Councilman Williams with the first, Councilman Civiletto with the second. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Heenan? Aye. Councilmember Civiletto? Aye. Councilmember Ledgeville Wishing?
Aye. Meeting adjourned.
Yes, sir.
Told you, Mark. Go, Michelle, you gotta hustle over.